Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Creativity is Key. My name is Marshy, and I am here joined with my co-host, Inky.
That is me. That is me. Hello, guys.
But we are also back with our normal episodes of Creativity is Key. We are joined by the amazing Ronan. Welcome.
Hello, that's me.
Would you like to quickly just introduce yourself? Tell us what you do, what you're about, all that good stuff.
Your social security,
gosh.
where you live.
Where you live.
My credit card number.
Yeah. Preferably the 3 numbers on the back, all that good stuff.
Well, yeah, my name is Ronan. I am ColorMeDistressed on Twitch and Instagram mainly. That's where I do most of my stuff. I am a freelance artist. I do comic design and illustration. That's how I met both of these dinguses.
Wow.
I do commissions, and so I work with a lot of Twitch streamers. I stream on Twitch myself. That's the main brunt of just like all of the stuff I do for fun. I'm also currently in college for graphic design. Gonna be graduating in winter, hopefully. Other than that, I've been doing this for like a really long time, and I love doing it.
Let's go.
Tearing up. You're living my
tearing
life
up?
right now.
Bro, you haven't even
No,
asked any questions.
No, it's because you're living my life. This is stuff that I want to do. Going to school for stuff like that and all that mumbo jumbo.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, Inky.
That's true. That's right. That's what I'm doing right now.
There you go. So basically, we're just going to talk about the stuff that we like to do. Mainly art, but that's more of Inky and Ronan's thing because, I commission everyone to do everything for me because I don't know how to do that stuff. But,
hey, I'm doing the same
anyway.
thing. I'm doing the same thing. Even though I draw and I do my own stuff, I still commission specifically a certain person who may be in this room right now.
Whoa, where?
I just finished 2 new overlays for Inky's streams, as well as a updated profile picture.
Oh my.
Yes, I actually may use that for my Twitch because I'm mostly doing the friend log on Twitch. But yes, when y'all see this video, my Twitch overlays are gonna be updated by yours truly.
Yeah, that's me.
They came out amazing. No, I'm freaking out. They came out so freaking good. Oh my god.
Thank you. Let's see. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. What you said about going to school and stuff. So, when I was a senior in high school, I was super intimidated about the aspect or the prospect of going to college. Like, it's basically like the culmination of everything you've done for the past 18 years of your life that you submit as a well, to my school you submitted a portfolio, and so you submit this portfolio of work and they basically get back to you and they're like, either yeah, that's, you got in, or yeah, it's not good enough. And so I applied to 2 schools.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
One was the California School of Art, and one was the Art Institute of Chicago, the School of the Art Institute of Chicago.
Wow, that's a big name.
Yeah.
Wait, what was
And
it? The Art Institute Art College
this,
of...
You got it, Inky.
yeah, you'll get there. It's a tongue twister. But I remember the day they got back to me. My mom picked me up from the house and she was like, "Do you want to go to Applebee's?" I was like, "Sure. I love Applebee's." We stopped to get the mail on the way there, and there was a big thick packet in the mail for me.
Oh my.
And she handed it to me, and I looked at it and I was like, I'm terrible at I have I swear I have like dyslexia or something, but I looked at it and I couldn't really discern where it was from, so I just opened it up. I knew it was addressed to me, so I opened it up and there was like this shiny metallic folder inside, and it was like, congratulations on taking the next step. And I was like, what is this? Where is this from? And there was I opened up the folder and there was a letter inside, and it said, like, from the like headmaster of the school, like, congratulations on getting into our Bachelor of Fine Arts program. And like, it was the most elated I had ever felt in my entire life. I was crying. I was so excited, and like the entire time that my mom and I were sitting waiting for our food, I was like, I got into college. I got into college. I got in. I got in. There's it's a really amazing feeling to like have that validation, and then also to like continue your education. So, yeah.
But which one was it?
The School of the Art Institute of Chicago. That's where I've been going to school.
There you go. Inky, say it. The man was too stunned to speak.
Huh? I'm sorry.
Say it with me. The School of the Art
The School
Institute
of the Art Institute of Chicago.
There you go.
Okay, so I do have a few questions for you. Well, you and Inky, because you both are artists, and this is kind of artist questions. So,
Okay.
one question I have is, what is the hardest part about being an artist?
Art block sucks.
Art block does suck, but I think that in my like experience, when you want to do art professionally, the hardest thing is finding people who want art. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I learned a lot. I've currently going to school, and so a lot of the stuff I'm learning currently comes from that experience. I took what even was it? I think it was like life after school. Oh, it was called artist formerly known as starving, life after school. That was the title of the class.
Okay.
And it was basically this entire thing about how like networking is not bad, and networking is how you build a customer base. It's how you make friends, form acquaintances. It's like how I met you guys. Like
Yes.
you like form these relationships with people, and that's like how that's a huge part of being a freelance artist of any type, whether you're a podcaster, a visual artist, making music, anything. The most important part of your job is the people you surround yourself with. And yeah, it's hard to get started with that. You really, really have to put yourself out there in some situations.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's something that you just sort of have to do.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I wouldn't be in the position I am today if I didn't make a TikTok about starting a podcast. So, and Inky wouldn't be here either. So, you know, all that good stuff.
Oh my god, yeah. We're not gonna go down rabbit hole, but yeah.
Yeah,
Just
no.
because of one TikTok
One TikTok.
blew all of us up.
Yeah, and now we've
One
made it
TikTok
to the.
that changed the world.
It really did. I mean,
It really did. It literally did. Like I would, not a subject change or anything, but that TikTok is what got me to Twitch affiliates, which is freaking
That's
amazing to think
awesome.
about. That is crazy.
It is pretty crazy. It is pretty crazy. Yeah, Inky, you said art block. Can you go
art
into that
block.
more?
Okay. So stuff that the internet does not know yet is that I make comics, and they're literally right next to me. They're in composition notebooks. I did them since I was in school, and I'm setting them up actually. This is something else that I was doing. I was setting them up next to my setup, so it's all nice and neat. But yeah, eventually I want to digitalize them and put them on the internet. But with Artblock, it's I get an idea of like a story, like all right, I'm gonna do it. Right, I draw like maybe like 3 pages, and then gone. It's dead. I don't know. Like the ability to just continue it's hard. And
Mhm.
that's how like a good 4 or 5 of my books have just been discarded and just
Mm-hmm.
been left to rot. And then
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same with me drawing right now. Like for the friend log, I was gonna do the thumbnail as soon as the session ended, and then 3 weeks have passed. But now
3
now I'm getting
weeks
to it.
later.
I think streaming has been helping get my inspiration up because I do the art streams,
Hmm.
and those have been pretty fun.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
I feel
find
like
that you get art block,
Oh, sorry.
Ronan?
Yes. Well, sometimes. I feel like it's something that every artist experiences at some point. You just sort of have an idea of what you want to be doing, but you can't force yourself to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe what I'm describing is more like burnout, I guess. But I've
Yeah.
had art block before too, where like um I play a lot of Sims, and so I compare a lot of
Oh
it
no.
to like to like The Sims. And so there's this thing, your Sims can be bored, and
Mm-hmm.
it's when they don't have any like whims or desires or anything, and they just sort of sit at the bottom of your screen with this blank face. And I feel like when I get art block, that's me. That's me sitting at the bottom of the screen, like I literally have nothing I want to do. And the worst part is if it was just the not wanting to do anything, I could just be like, oh, I'm gonna take a day to relax. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not just that you don't want to do anything. It's that you want to do something, but you don't want to do something. And that is the most like frustrating feeling in the world.
Hmm.
Mm.
That makes sense. Do you find it like, so since you do like commissions, do you find it easier to like sometimes avoid that like problem where you're like, I don't know what to draw, or like I don't know what to do?
Yes, sometimes. It's always nice to like get a prompt from someone.
Mm-hmm.
Um Sometimes it can be unhelpful because I feel like there's a couple different types of there's like burnout, and there's art block, and all of these different things that have different effects on your like creative I don't want to say abilities, but maybe that's the word that's coming to mind. Your creative abilities. I'll just say that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I get commissions from people, sometimes it's like forcing myself even to do that because it's not your idea, and so you don't feel as connected to it. Um I have commissions in my backlog that I like. There's a commission I've had on hold for someone since September because
Oh
I've
my.
like
Yikes.
yeah, I've changed the format of it like 7 different times, and I just got back to them the other day, and I was like, "Hey, is this format okay? I just want to make sure." And like the thing that I've noticed though is that people who ask for commissions oftentimes are insanely patient, which is super nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've never had someone be like, "I need you to get this done by like tomorrow."
Oh God,
Um,
that'd be horrible.
and the other thing that I think is super important, especially for visual artists, but for anyone in general, is knowing your own worth. And
Mm-hmm.
so I have like my commission prices. They've slowly risen over the years, which I think is something that you're supposed to do. Um, my mom is a business entrepreneur. She has her own business that she runs. And so when I told her that I kind of want to do what she's doing, she was like, okay, well, you should charge a flat rate and then you should charge hourly. And I was like, oh. And she was
Mm.
like, yeah,
Ooh.
and you should make at a minimum wage. And so if something takes you 2 hours to do, you charge them $9. That's $18 on top of whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so like there's this I feel like there are so many artists out there of all types. I keep saying of all types. I want to make sure like we're not just talking about visual art here.
No, it's all any
Um,
artist, any artist.
yeah. Um, and so sorry, I I interrupted myself. Um, you have to know your worth, and when you start telling people your worth, they start giving you more value in their minds. Um, and so that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy of like you make yourself. And of course there's always going to be circumstance, but for where I'm currently at, I've built what I do basically from the ground up, and I'm just so like thankful for all of the people who've been around me to help me, and all of the people like you guys who support me through commissions and all of that. And
Let's
I think that
go.
Mm-hmm.
it's it's tough, but uh it's worth it in my opinion. Yeah. You've got to know your worth, and that makes it worth it. I guess.
No pun intended. It's worth.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, well, going from the hardest part about art, what is your guys' favorite part about art?
Hmm.
Inky?
Tough one actually.
I feel like I can answer this too. I mean, I'm going to start answering them too, because since we're not
Yes.
just talking about visual.
Yeah.
My favorite part about art is, as we talked about before, none of this would be happening if I didn't make a stupid TikTok, right? And if you know me, I make a TikTok almost every day, and that's a lot, right? That's a lot of TikToks. I started in August, and now it's almost February. That's a lot of months, a lot of TikToks, a lot of content. My favorite thing about art and just like everything is the people that you connect with over the time that you do it, right? So I've made connections. I got Inky, my co-host. I remember sending him the DM of like, hey, do you want to be my co-host? He was like, me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like literally none of this would have happened if I just didn't put myself out there and like produce the content that I enjoy. So it's just very rewarding to see that other people also enjoy what I make. And that's what I would say is my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm also around there, and like in the reward. But not like in that state. More like where I'm trying to get a certain part of the drawing to work, and it just keeps on not working. It keeps on looking all messy, and or it looks off. Like the what do you call it? The body looks off, and then the amount of times you try fixing it, trying to make sure it looks right, and then the one final piece where like it actually looks right. That moment right there, the rewarding part of it and finally looking good.
Yeah.
That I would consider that my favorite.
I think that everyone always says like it's not the destination, it's the journey. With visual art, I feel like it's definitely the destination. Um, when you finish a piece, you look back at it and you're like, damn, like that looks fucking good.
Yeah.
Um, and it's definitely a sort of gratifying experience to be like, I made something that I think looks really nice. And then there's proof of that. I feel like okay, so I feel like this is something that I'm probably going to talk a lot about. So like I have always struggled with self-worth issues ever since I was like a kid. And I feel like that's something that a lot of young people can relate to today, and like creating things has never been more like of a prevalent thing in the world. Everybody has their own thing. Everybody's got their own podcast. Everybody's got a YouTube channel. Everybody's got their thing. And I think it's great that so many young people are able to express themselves. And I mean, I feel like that makes me feel like sound old. I mean, how old are you guys? I'm 22, gonna be 23 this year. And I feel like there's like so many people coming after me, like people in my year,
Mm,
like this new generation of kids coming up who are just incredibly creative,
mm-hmm.
incredibly independent, incredibly just ready to put themselves out there in every way possible. Um, and there's also this entire like culture of kids having anxiety and kids having depression and having incredibly detrimental self-worth issues. And I think that they go hand in hand with kids who are taking charge of their lives and saying, I know what I'm worth and look at what I can create. And they look back on what they created as proof of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are problems with that too. I think that there's sort of an intrinsic self-worth that everyone should know that they have, but for some people it takes a physical reminder to be like, I did this and that means that I am good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if you guys I know I'm here as the guest, but like do you guys, can you speak to that or anything like in that way?
So yeah, I definitely do think like there's so many amazing creators like everywhere, all across social media, all across everywhere. Like you look one place, you'll find one amazing person. You look another place, you every form of content, every form of like what do you call it, little topic has an awesome creator that's putting themselves out there. But one thing I do think is bringing down people's self-worth is the numbers. I think a lot of people focus heavy on the numbers rather than if they enjoy making the content. That's what I find. When I first started Twitch 2 years ago, that's what I would put my self-worth on, is the numbers, how many people watch me, and it was not good. So whenever someone's like, oh, I'm gonna start streaming, I always say turn off the viewers, don't look at your stats. It doesn't matter, because if you enjoy doing it, then that's all that should matter. And I think a lot of people still rely on the numbers, and I think that's why a lot of people get like discouraged as to why they shouldn't be doing it. But for anyone that wants to make content or is making content and is feeling like demotivated, I would say turn off the numbers, don't look at your stats, because right now, if you're just doing it for fun, none of that stuff matters. None of that stuff matters.
Absolutely.
Until it's a career. None of that stuff matters. And if you're not acting like it's a career until it really is, you're just gonna keep doing the same thing the whole way through. And then you're gonna be like, oh wow, I can make this a career now, rather than the person who's like acting like it's a 9 to 5, which some people do. But it's very number heavy in this day and age, which is kind of bad, because we all know like the TikTok algorithm, that all those algorithms are really weird. Like you have to post the same content, you have to post only like certain second videos. It's very weird. But don't rely on any of that stuff. I make stupid videos and they get big for no reason, and I really don't care. I make the content I want to make, and I don't put my self-worth behind the numbers. And I think that's my biggest tip for anyone that wants to make content, is don't put your self-worth behind the numbers. Put your self-worth in your content.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, if you enjoy it, then that's really all that matters.
I'm sorry, Inky, did you want to say something?
No. I don't think I'm there yet in the in that.
I think you are.
Yeah.
It's honestly like Ronan said, getting yourself out there. You did that. You got yourself out there. You got yourself here just by like basically just commenting on a TikTok.
Just the fact that like just the fact that you are sitting like in this Discord call with us means that you made it here. Like I know that like it can feel I don't know what I'm trying to say at this point, but like I think I should have stopped before like the fact that you are here sitting with us means that you have made it this far. And you know what, like people might not think that that's very far in terms of like looking at the bigger picture of like there are people on Twitch who have 50,000 regular viewers like Hassan Abi and like other big streamers. And I feel like at the point where I'm at in my like Twitch journey, everybody's got their little like we've said this before. Everybody's got their thing.
Yes.
Everybody's got their journey they go on. And at this point in my journey on Twitch, I'm not fucking worried about how many viewers Hassan Abi's got. I don't talk to the guy. He doesn't know who I am. I don't care. I think that it's cool, and I think that it's nice to have goals, but I need to keep my goals realistic. When I first started streaming on Twitch, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder how long it's going to take to get to 10 viewers, like on an average stream. I wonder how long it's going to be until I get to 1,000 followers. I wonder how long it's going to be until I blow up. And I feel like that's something people really, really want to do, and they see people like Tommy Innit and Tubbo blow up on Twitch. They're these super young guys, and they get it big. Rambu said when he first started streaming that it was like his second stream that he had 1,000 people watching him. And that just does not happen for 99% of people.
Yeah.
And they see that happen. And of course they're going to see it because he got big. Literally getting big means more people watching. Of course you're going to see that and think, can I do that? And I think that it's incredibly encouraging to see people like Rambu, like Tommy Innit, like these people saying, yes, you can do it. Look what happened to me. But there's also an insane amount of luck that goes into it. And so I feel like as long as you're having fun, you turn off your viewer count, as long as you're just doing it for the pure enjoyment of doing it, then that has to be enough. And if that's not enough, then you're not doing the right thing.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. Another factor of that is some people will look at that and be like, why can't that be me? Or like, you know, they're like, they're like streaming and they're like, I'm not getting any viewers. Like, what am I doing wrong? One major tip that I will give to anyone that wants to stream on Twitch and is looking to broaden their viewers, post on other social medias. It is the hardest thing to get found on Twitch. It is the hardest thing. Out of all the social medias, I think Twitch is probably the hardest to be found on. So I started posting on TikTok. It's great. Post on TikTok, post on Twitter, even just take your clips from your Twitch and just make a little TikTok out of it. You don't know what's going to happen. But again, it doesn't really matter. But if you're looking to get more people to come watch, more people to come talk to, because I really like talking to people in my chat. That's why I like to do it. But post on other social medias, because Twitch is the hardest social media to get found on. But another thing to amp Inky up is that if you have more than 5 viewers on Twitch, you are actually in the top 5% of Twitch.
Yeah, I've been told about that. Yeah, thanks
I
to
did not
everyone
know
here.
that.
Yeah, so if you have more than 5 concurrent viewers on your Twitch, you are in the top 5%. Because most of the people that stream on Twitch mostly stream to 0 viewers. So it's a very, like, you would think like, wow, that doesn't really make any sense, but it really does when you think about it. If you look in like all the categories of streams, you'll be scrolling forever in the 0 viewers. So it's but another thing about that, they're streaming. They don't care. They don't care if no one's watching. Maybe they do, but most of the people that are streaming are just doing it for fun, and that's what you should be doing again. But it's a very cool thing that if you have more than 5 viewers, you're in the top 5%. But Twitch is a crazy outlet, social media. It's very fun. But again, if you want to get more viewers, post on another social media. Ronan, I'm sure you got your people from like Twitter and Instagram and all that good stuff.
Actually, I feel like I must be an outlier here because yeah, I have one viewer who comes to every single stream. It is I don't want to say too much about them. I don't know if they'd be okay like me speaking about them, but their username is Mink. And they came into my stream maybe about a year ago, and ever since then they have attended every single stream. They maybe miss one.
That's crazy.
And I never like I haven't met them. We text because my viewer base is so small. Like we they're in my Discord and I text them sometimes, but we've never like spoken to one another. And um I feel like there's this sort of like it's so random to get people like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I it's definitely an outlier situation. But I've had people come in, let's see. I don't know. I have 5 concurrent viewers. Like that's my monthly average this month. So we made it, boys. We're the
Oh, let's
top
go.
5% of Twitch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, but it took me, when did I start? It took me probably 3 years to get there. I started streaming in 2020. I was streaming from my Xbox. I
Mm,
streamed Overwatch and I streamed State of Decay 2. Um, and I didn't have any overlays. I didn't have I was using my gamer headphone, the
there you
headphones
go.
that have a microphone attached to them.
Turtle
Yep.
Beach.
Turtle Beach.
Yeah, it and I feel like that's also okay. I'm all over the place right now, but I feel like that's also part of the like journey is looking
Mm,
back on where you started and looking at where you are now. I have like been insanely lucky to be able to increase the quality of my streams through updated tools and things like that.
mm.
Um, but there's like it's so cool to see where you started and where you are now. And then I feel like that also gives anybody, but especially me, because, I'm living my experience. It gives you the encouragement to be like, this is where I've come this far. I can't wait to see where I'll go. And I feel like that's also an incredibly encouraging thing for like I I sort of came on today with the idea that I would talk about like my experience with other people on Twitch. And so like there's so many young people on Twitch and I just
Mm-hmm.
want them to also feel encouraged to do what they're doing. I don't want them to feel like they're not worth anything because they're not like making $1,000 per stream or something like that, there's worth in doing what you love, just the act of doing it.
That's truly
And I
facts.
want I want everybody out there to know that, and I want them to feel okay doing that because I feel like the majority of people online today are young people like 15, 16, like teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And um that's like a big worry of mine. I just want them to be okay. Like all of the people I talk to, like other streamers who are more popular than I am are like 5 years younger than me, and I worry about them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them to be okay, and I want them to be safe, and I want them to have fun and all of that. And so I see myself as like the uh not role model. Role model is not the word I'm currently looking for. Like supportive, like the mom that goes to all your soccer
There
meets.
you go.
That's who I want
Yeah.
to be for all of my young streamer friends. I want them to like see me in chat and be like, "Hi."
Mm-hmm.
Like to be like, "Oh, I have someone in chat with me," or like, "I have someone who's here." I just want to be that for all my friends. I have my friend Sam who he doesn't stream a lot. I feel like he wants to stream more, and so I try to go to as many of his streams as I can.
Mm. It's definitely good when you have like friends who also like streaming or like that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But one thing that that I do that I think is like cool to me is rather than saying, "Oh, this is my dream," I say, "This is my goal," and I say when I reach that. So like I'm like my goal is to become a full-time streamer and I'm going to do this when I reach that, you know? Um because I think a lot of people get discouraged as when they say, "Oh, my dream is to do this." Like a dream is something that is sometimes seen as like unachievable, but if you make it a
Yeah.
goal, it can be achievable. But it's very, I don't know. That's just something I do that I found helps me to
Yeah.
like further my streams. But what was I gonna say?
It's
There's
all
one thing I
about
was
the
gonna say.
language you use.
Yeah, basically.
And look where that's got you.
Yeah. Um yeah, so if it excuse me. Oh my god. If you want to stream, get some friends, play some games. I find that the best streams are when I'm talking to my friends, I'm playing with my friends, and then I'm also talking to chat. It just makes it a lot more engaging. The hardest thing when you first start streaming is talking to yourself. It is very, very, very
Yes.
hard to do. It's
Oh
very
my god.
Oh my
draining.
god. Don't
Yeah.
remind me.
But for the first year that I was streaming, most of the time I was talking to myself, and I still do that sometimes. But you're gonna do it a lot. But what I do, I play music. I sing along to the music. I talk about what I'm doing. I talk about my day. You know, all that stuff. But that is probably the hardest part about starting is just talking to yourself. And because on Twitch, I find, well, here's the even harder thing is that anyone who clicks on your stream, they have to watch an ad first. So if you're going on a Twitch stream, you're like, oh, let me watch this person. You're watching an ad. The first 5 seconds that they watch your stream is going to decide whether they stick around or not. So
Absolutely.
if you're sitting there in silence, they're going to click off right away. I'm going to tell you that because you got to keep your viewers engaged. And I know it's a long time to keep your viewers engaged, but it is very much what people look for on Twitch. They want someone that's engaged. They want someone who's going to talk back to them. Because if people are typing in your chat, you're not responding, they're just going to leave. So it's a very hard part of Twitch, but it's very rewarding once you can do it. Literally talk about anything. Have your one-man show podcast, basically. Literally talk about whatever, as long as you're talking, as like, if you're talking about something stupid, someone's eventually going to be like, oh, I like that, or like talk about it too. And then you have a conversation with someone. But until then, it's very your inner monologue is going to come out and you're just going to be talking. So that's my number one tip is to not just sit there in silence.
Marshy's streamer tips.
Yeah, these are my streamer tips. Like, I'm literally going to make this into a TikTok. But yeah, so that's my like number one thing is my two biggest things on Twitch is turn off the viewer count and talk as much as you can. Those are my biggest tips.
Yeah, I 100% agree with both of those thoughts. I think that there's like, sorry, 1 second. I completely lost my train of thought, but I agree wholeheartedly.
I could try to bring us back. You were talking earlier about having someone there watching your streams, watching everyone. I recently had my first person who seems that they may actually start watching most of my streams. I was looking back at my second session of the friend log. This guy came in and we were just having fun. We were talking. He was talking about what was going on. Like, I think my Koraidon was like glitching out and it was funny. And then at the very end of the stream, they go, "This has been very fun to watch and I can't wait to see where this goes. Cool stream." And that, oh my god, that feeling.
Endorphins, right?
Oh my god, that felt amazing. So like, I really hope that they show up for this session.
Yeah,
because that would be my first reoccurring view other than Rat.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm there too. My experience. So everyone else has talked about that. So my experience, I have a friend who also got me to where I am today because I was just streaming. So I had an SMP like a year and a half ago, I think, which is where my bird Larry comes from. It was called the Wave SMP. And I remember one day I was just doing lore and someone just came into my stream and they're like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" And when I do lore, I don't respond to chat, which is kind of bad, but I feel like it takes me out of character. So
Yeah.
I wasn't responding to him. But then as soon as I got out of lore, I was like, "Oh, hey, so how's it going?" And we were just talking and he was like, "Wow, like this is a really fun stream." He came back for he comes back every now and then, but I think he watched my stream consecutively for at least a year. And that is crazy to me. Like, he became a mod for me. He was like amazing. He comes by every now and again, but obviously people move on. But it was crazy to see, like, people will enjoy, like, if you're streaming one game, then you switch over to another game and people are still watching you, they're watching you for you. And I think that's what you should be like looking at. Because I stream stupid stuff. I stream Minecraft. I stream, it's hard to be found on Minecraft, but if people are watching you, then they want to watch you. But that's like one of the best things, to have like a person who's like always there, even if they're not talking, like you I feel like they're here, like, or even just that feeling, like when you're first starting off stream, send it to everyone. I used to post on Snapchat that I was live, or like, and people would just come in, say hi, all that good stuff. I'm not gonna lie, when I was trying to get affiliate, I made an alt account and watched myself. But don't do that.
Boost your numbers.
Yeah, boost
Cheat
your
the
numbers,
system.
but don't do that. I did do that, and yeah, but anyway. But yeah, it's awesome to see when people actually want to watch you for you. And I think that's what you should be striving to do, rather than your ability to play a game. Because I find the streamers that I like their personality rather than their ability.
Streaming is not skill-based.
No, it really isn't.
Absolutely not. No.
No, because my favorite streamer is Ludwig. All of the games that he plays, I don't like. I watch him because I like him as a person. So, I don't know. You were saying? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that is 100% true. I just wanted to pump you up a little bit and be like, yes, that is absolutely. But oh gosh, fuck.
Oh, I have a great question.
Oh, sure, yeah. What's up? So,
Inky is just starting off. Inky, what is the hardest part about streaming on Twitch for you right now?
The streaming software that I'm dealing with.
There you go.
Literally that's been my situation. Okay, so I had a thing. I might as well talk about it now. I started. Well, actually, I didn't start. I used OBS to like record stuff normally, like whenever I wanted to record stuff, and then when I wanted to start streaming, I forgot who told me to use Streamlabs OBS. And
whoever told you that is a liar.
I downloaded that, and then I was gonna start my first stream. My first stream ever was a lore stream, which is supposed to be, an important thing that shouldn't have messed up to begin with. But that whole stream was off the wazoo. Like, it was like a 10-minute delay. It was pretty bad. And then then I started figuring out that I don't know what happened to. But every time I record on Streamlabs, like just recording in general, like it'll like be laggy. It's bad. I don't know why. So then I eventually moved to Twitch Studio because it's a completely different thing and it's slightly easier for newer people. Yeah. So I use that and it's been helping me out. That's what I've been using. But I want to go back to OBS to. Because there's a lot of features there that I want to use.
OBS is the best for customization. If you're watching this video, I'm recording it on OBS, so,
well, there you go. Because, so I can use it for streaming and recording, which I can also do for Twitch Studio, but,
Inky, we went on very similar streaming experiences starting.
That's crazy.
When I first started, once I got off of my Xbox, I started streaming from my MacBook.
Oh, no.
And if anybody here knows anything about Apple, they make it pretty much impossible to effectively stream anything from your MacBook due to the way that audio splits. Anyways, we're not going to get into the technicality of that. But I downloaded OBS, and immediately I was incredibly overwhelmed by the sheer customization of everything. I had never even looked at a broadcast software before, and so I saw this and I immediately was like, I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
I started using Streamlabs, and things started going well. Then the whole thing came out with Streamlabs being like they stole a lot of stuff from OBS and put it behind a paywall. And
Yep.
so everybody was like, don't use Streamlabs. And so I was like, okay, I'll try something different. I tried Twitch Studio. That worked for a little while. And at that point, it had been a couple of months. I had a good idea of how to use a broadcast software. And so I went back to OBS because I think I was watching a Markiplier video where he pulled up his OBS and I was using that like paused section of his YouTube video to set up my OBS. I like looked at his, I was like, what does he have on his screen there? And so I like set everything up and I've been using it ever since and it works super well, and I feel like that's something that just sort of comes with experience. I'm the type of person who, if I'm not doing something perfect the first time I try it, I immediately like move on to something else. I'm like, okay, maybe that's just not for me. But with streaming and doing stuff, sometimes you have to take a step back and be like, I'm not ready for this particular thing. I'm going to wait until I know more and then I'm going to come back to this and I'm going to do it better.
Mm-hmm.
I have games downloaded that I refuse to play until I like have a certain viewer count. I'm like, I'm saving this until I feel like I'm ready
Mm.
to like have this experience and do this on Twitch. And there's things that like you can be like, I'm excited for this and I'm gonna save it for later.
Yes.
Yeah. There's like a dichotomy between like get yourself out there, do whatever you want to do, but there's also this other side of it like hold back until you have more skills,
Mm-hmm.
and finding the balance between doing both of those things is like incredibly important.
Yes, I do think that is also very true. One of the fun things for me for Twitch is setting like a follower goal, and when I hit a follower goal, then I do something.
Yeah.
I remember when I hit 100 followers on Twitch, I opened 10 Pokemon packs,
Oh, that's fun.
which it was, it's just Pokemon, but it was very fun. So it's like, it's also nice for viewers when you like actually do something. Because like if you just have a goal and you're not going to do anything when it happens, it's just like, what's the point of it, And it just makes it more fun for the viewers, and it gives them more of a reason as to follow. But it's just, I do think that's a fun aspect that you can incorporate into your Twitch. But one thing that I've talked about on this podcast many times is don't use Streamlabs OBS. Don't. Please. Because again, they've stolen stuff from OBS and made you pay for it. And another thing that a lot of people don't know is that it takes up more CPU when you're streaming. So
Really?
it'll just in the end it'll lag your stream more. So either start with Twitch Studios or OBS. But honestly, if you're just starting out, start with Twitch Studios. That's my best recommendation. And then once you're, like Ronan said, once you're comfortable, move over to OBS, watch some videos on how to do it, OBS, you can get so customizable. You can like make it all like you. My whole thing is mango themed, but it's just on like preference, but preferably don't use Streamlabs OBS. So another thing I wanted to talk about is your D&D streams. Would you like to get into that? I'm very interested by it, and I like watching your D&D streams. So can you tell us how that started, how it's going, all that good stuff?
How it started, how it's going.
Yeah.
So the first thing that made me think about possibly doing a streamed D&D session was watching my friend Create, who is one of my players, streaming their D&D sessions. So Create is a dungeon master. So I don't know the experience level of your like audience with Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeon masters are in charge of the story. They like are they have the campaign idea. They tell everybody else what's happening. The players have their characters that populate the party and complete the missions that the dungeon master sends them on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching Create doing this Dungeons and Dragons session, and I was getting incredibly inspired. And I remembered that about a year ago, I ran a very small starter campaign with a group of friends of mine. At the time, I was a player in a campaign I was doing at college, and I was like, I'd like to get back into doing that. I've said that I wanted to do this for a while, and I just need to find people who want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I forget exactly how I asked. I think it might have been there. There have been a couple of Discord servers that my friends and I have had over the years, and so I'm not even sure if the initial invite is still out there anywhere. But I started off with 5 people, and we started doing sessions, and it was really fun. Well, actually, even before we get further down the road than that, I wasn't planning on streaming the first session. I had a couple people that I wasn't sure if they'd feel comfortable streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But like 5 minutes before we got started, my friend Sam was like, are you going to stream this? And I was like, well, I wasn't planning on it, but I could. And so we started off, and I was just window capturing Discord. We all had our cameras on, and we would just do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually down the line, as we talked about, like evolving your Twitch stream, I made PNG tubers for all of them, and one of my characters is text based, and so we have a chat open on screen for her. And so like it just has it's so awesome to like share something like that with people. My favorite thing to do on Twitch is multiplayer games, multiplayer streams. My favorite thing is like Jackbox, Among Us,
Mm-hmm.
all of this stuff. It's so nice to have someone to bounce something off of. And I
Yeah.
think that speaks to like when you're starting, you are talking to yourself a lot. And so when you get to the point, again, this has to do with networking. Once you get to a point with your network where you have people you can be like, hey, do you want to come talk to me while I stream? And even better if you can have someone playing a game with you. It's so much more engaging to watch someone have a conversation than it is to watch someone doing a commentary.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it started. It was just sort of a spontaneous thing, and now they're some of my most popular streams. My most popular streams are my Dungeons and Dragons streams.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
They're so fun, and I feel like it speaks to having a schedule. My Dungeons and Dragons sessions are I don't want to this isn't a plug, but I mean if you want to. Every Sunday we start at 3:30. Like every Sunday. My players will ask me, "Are we having a session today?" I'm like, "Yes." Unless I tell you otherwise, we are having session. They're like, "What time is it? What time is it?" The same time it's been every time.
Every single time.
And that gives them stability, and it gives you stability in the fact that you know that once a week, every week, you're going to have a stream, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, when I was little, I hated being on a schedule. I hated planners. I hated like
In a club.
planning my day because I felt like it was so boxing yourself in.
Mm.
Now that I'm living by myself and like doing things, I have to have a schedule because if I don't, I am going to like lay in bed until 1 p.m., gonna get up and have a headache and make myself coffee and not really do anything and lay on the couch and watch Hassan Abi. I've mentioned him twice now. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with planning out a schedule for yourself. I feel like that's a little bit health guru, but I promise that it works. And it makes you more accountable. It makes you more responsible. Those are two things that I have always struggled with throughout my life, and so it's nice to feel like I'm doing this for myself, and
Mm.
then I'm also becoming a more dependable person for the people around me, my players, my friends. Everyone can be like, I know what's gonna happen with Ronan with me.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like the way that you format your streams for D&D, it's very fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I do love seeing
Thank
those.
you.
But yeah, our viewers, go watch the stream tomorrow. I don't know when this is gonna be up. I think tomorrow sometime. If it's before Ronin streams, go watch Ronin streams. It'll be in the link in the description. Please go watch it.
Aw,
It's so
yeah.
fun to watch. But we talked about like some of the Daisy SMP members. We talked about starting D&D. Hasn't really gone far since then, but hopefully eventually we'll start something, because I do very like
Yeah.
D&D. I've only had the chance to like play one session, not a DM. And I do like playing as a player. So hopefully we'll be able to do something with that. But I think the way that you format your D&D streams is very unique and very like cool and engaging to watch.
Thank you.
And that's another tip I can give to you guys. Format your streams different. Like you see all these streamers, they have the same format. Like you're scrolling down Twitch, you just see, all the stuff, and you're like, oh, I could do this different. If you could do it different, do it different, It just brings some personality to you. It brings some, contrast to your own streams. It just makes it more fun.
Recognizability. If you can do anything, that's another thing about everybody having their own thing that they do. It is so hard for people who are just starting out to stand out. So if you have the opportunity to do something that you feel is like a little bit different, people are going to see that and they're going to immediately be interested. And so for sure, do it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
In an age where like getting back to art, like everybody has access to like VTuber software, PNG tuber software, where you can make yourself incredibly recognizable. It sort of like pushes into the background. It like pushes you into the background because you might be this like 3D rendered model with like little ears, and it's so cute and nice. And then you'll see 50 other people with like a different like a color shifted like VTuber. And so if you can do anything to stand out, then by all means do it, because everybody stands out. So
Just an example. I'm a mango.
yeah.
I'm
Marshy's a
a
mango.
mango.
Yeah.
They call me the mango man. My dad literally went up to me because I wanted him to watch my Twitch, and he goes, "Are you the mango man?" I was like, "That's me."
Yes. Absolutely.
It was so funny, but yeah, it's like a lot of people ask me why I chose to be a mango. No one is doing that. I don't know anyone else that's a mango
100%.
on Twitch. I'm pretty sure if you search a mango, all my stuff will come up in Twitch. So, another great thing about Twitch is don't like make your stream title unique. I always do like Mango Man plays hardcore or Mango Man, someone sees Mango Man, they're gonna be like, what the heck does that mean? And they're gonna click and be like, what is this? Even though I'm just playing Minecraft. Like, it's just funny. But that's a great way to make your streams unique, is by just doing a funny title, or like just like trying to be unique in some way, it's just great. But it's already been an hour. That's crazy. This went by so fast. Holy.
Oh my goodness.
But is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Inky, you want to say anything? I feel like you haven't talked that much.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm just listening. It's nice. It's nice to hear. other
Okay.
people talking about their struggle and stuff while I'm over here struggling as well. I feel included.
We're here for you.
If there's any anything I want to say to close out the podcast and like closing remarks, things I want people to remember, it's like do what you're doing for yourself before you do it for any other reason. Before you before you think about monetization, before you think about popularity, think about what it is that you're doing and ask yourself, is this is this enjoyable? Is this something that I'm having fun doing? If the answer is no, then you're not doing the right thing, and there will be something out there for you that gives you that feeling of I am happy doing what I'm doing. And maybe it's not something monetizable. Maybe it's something that you are going to just enjoy in the privacy of your own home. And that is just as commendable as being number one on Twitch. Yeah, I could talk about this for hours.
Well, let's get
But
you on another
I'll
episode.
Yeah, that'd be
Yes,
fun.
I would love that. I would love that. No reason at all, but I would love that. No particular reason at all.
Yeah.
These are our Twitch tips, guys. You know, no, I was kidding. These are just overall tips for you guys. But
Oh, but yeah, these tips have been helping me. I'm listening and I'm.
we got Inky right here. He's gonna use these tips that we're giving him. But
Yeah.
well, thank you for coming on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And check that off the bucket list. Whip.
But guys, make sure you go follow Ronan on their socials. Follow Inky. Follow me. All that stuff will be linked in the description. If you guys have any creators that you want to be on the podcast, you know, put them in the comments. I'll try and reach out. You know, all that good stuff. But
Foolish gamers. Foolish gamers.
why?
Foolish,
Anyways,
foolish,
hey, Foolish, you want to be on the podcast? Just let me know. But anyway, as always, we appreciate you guys watching. You know, all that good stuff. Me and Inky really appreciate you all. Thank you for being on here, Ronan. We really appreciate it again. But until next time, we will see you guys then. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you have a wonderful day. Anything you want to say, Inky?
See y'all next week.
Tax fraud. Oh,
No.
okay, that too.
No.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, liking, subscribing. We appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.